Okay, so today is Thursday, 29th of January 2026, midday, air temperature 18 degrees centigrade, which is about 64 Fahrenheit. Now, I'm an old guy and I still say centigrade instead of Celsius. It was called centigrade for about 200 years. Before about 50 years ago, they changed it to Celsius. I grew up saying centigrade and I still say it. To me, Celsius doesn't sound very technical. Centigrade sounds much better. But enough of the grumpy old man stuff, and back to the MEDAKA. In my last couple of videos, I said I'd run out of anything new to say, but I'd still continue to with the channel to post videos on the channel. But I think maybe I'll make a short series of videos on the basics of my up-to-date, if you like, methodology I use and how I keep MEDAKA outdoors in my subtropical climate. It'll cover the usual, fish keeping stuff like MEDAKA strains, tubs, water quality, food, spawning, etc, etc, etc. And I'll start off the first of the series with this introduction. And most importantly, I'll emphasize I'm not an expert. I wouldn't pretend I know enough for this series to be thought of as a definitive and comprehensive guide on how to keep and breed MEDAKA. This is just how I do it. We have in regard to the climate I live in, to the time and space I've got available, and to the maybe limited resources that I can find. One thing with that is just one example. I don't have a nice big Costco or similar store just down the road where I can go and buy good quality large plastic storage boxes to use as tubs. I'll also emphasize I've got no experience of keeping MEDAKA in an indoor aquarium where water temperature and water quality can be easily controlled, and I've got no experience of keeping MEDAKA outdoors in a temperate climate where temperatures and rainfall can be significantly different from my subtropical climate. So as I say, I'm far from being an expert on all things MEDAKA. Just sort of looking at these tubs along here. These two here, this one had an infestation of snails, so I emptied it out, put in bleach to kill whatever snails and snail eggs there might be. This one had, yet again, for about the third time, hair algae. I think even small bits of hair algae hide in the cracks in here, and after several months it starts growing again. Now, those two tubs are empty, no MEDAKA. Here, got a few breeding group of what I call Shine, which is my own strain, and here's some orange, there's some Miyuki and some red caps. So, I got diverted what I was saying. Now, this is going to be about, what I might call my up-to-date methodology, which is, if you like, sort of set of methods, procedures, practices, or rules that I've found over the years work reasonably well in helping my MEDAKA to thrive and remain healthy in outdoor conditions. And I've got these other tubs along here, and I think one of the major things that has maintained my interest in keeping MEDAKA is I keep them outdoors. I probably get bored keeping them indoors in an aquarium where water conditions and temperature can be controlled in accordance with what might be recommended, for example, in a book or on online websites. But keeping MEDAKA outdoors, you've really got to develop your own methodology depending on all the local conditions of climate and maybe predators and all that sort of stuff. And that can sort of keep your interest going while you're actually keeping MEDAKA, trying to improve your methodology over a period of time. So outdoors, with all the varying weather conditions you get throughout the year, and perhaps a variety of natural predators, etc., MEDAKA are adaptable, and they can mostly survive in a wide range of conditions. But I've found usually you can improve things as you go along. If your MEDAKA have the best chance of thriving and remaining healthy. And as I say, that's what I found maintains my interest. For example, in my case, I don't get freezing water conditions in the winter, but get very hot summer temperatures and extremely heavy rainfall in the summer as well. And for example, that may influence the shape of tubs that I use. And also from predators point of view, fortunately I don't get animals like raccoons trying to destroy my MEDAKA tubs, but I get very large numbers of dragonflies, and occasionally get a heron trying to fly in and feast on the MEDAKA and empty out a tub. So all those things you've got to take into account. And so I call this my up-to-date methodology because particularly over the last 2 years, I've tried to improve the methodology based on my experience and the lessons I've learnt over that time. Most of the lessons I've learnt I've recorded in previous videos. So I always like watching these black Orochi MEDAKA. This is a breeding group. Normally I don't like green water, but to keep high temperatures in the winter, I put tubs in locations where maybe get 8 to 10 hours of sunshine if it's a sunny day, and that keeps water temperatures high, and then that increases their growth rate. There should be quite a lot of orange fish in here, but there's only 2 at the surface. Don't know why. So as just one example of how I've changed things over the last couple of years, I used to hatch MEDAKA eggs in this small cut down yogurt pot. So that's what I started with, that sort of size of container. And then I sort of changed to directly hatching in this size, a bit more water quality. Didn't have to move them from the small tub into this one. Even then, water quality wasn't so good, so I moved to that size. Okay, water quality improved, or consistent water quality improved, but now I've moved to hatching in this size, which is an IKEA Trophos tub. So I've gone from there to there to there to there, and I get consistently good water quality, and it can stay as a grow out tub for a period of time. before I move the MEDAKA to a larger tub. So I know this is all very simple stuff, but for an old guy like me, simple stuff can be just as satisfying sitting outdoors in this good weather, messing about with my MEDAKA system and trying to make these small improvements so they maintain good health and they grow well and produce offspring which are nice and strong and fit and healthy. Okay,